Good morning, Friday, December 18th, 2020. This is Miguel Solari with the Plastic Free News Weekly Wrap-Up. I committed to doing this every Friday, and here it is. This is my second week. I'm right here with you. And quick note, I am not a journalist. I used to date a journalist a long time ago, and I know journalists are supposed to be unbiased with their reporting. However, I am biased and opinionated when it comes to plastic. So this is opinionated plastic free news. So here we go. Let's get right to it. We'll start with boom, placenta. First evidence of microplastics in the human placenta. So I posted about this a couple days ago. So you're gonna have to go back and watch that video. I recommend it because this is freakish news, and this is an Italian study that found microplastics in the placenta of women, obviously, and one of the ways that they theorize it could have gotten there is through the mucous membrane in our guts. And how might that happen? Paper packaging, maybe with the plastic liners, plastic forks, straws, the air, because it can also enter through airways. All of these different ways. And anyway, the link is below to all of these articles. You can see it, you can look at it yourself. It's freakish, it's scary, and if it ended up in the placenta and in our bloodstream, it's probably it's probably floating in your scrotum. Sorry for the graphic detail there, but that did cross my mind. It's kind of like crazy. And that leads up to a great Bay Area here. This Bay Area success story. Boom, this is about Dispatch Goods the Zuni Cafe that partnered with Dispatch Goods, and in the first week of launching the partnership of fully using their platform of refillable containers, they saved 1,700 containers from entering the waste stream. So what got saved? All of those same paper containers that have the plastic lining did not end up in the waste stream, and did not end up possibly going into your placenta or your scrotum, and they did not end up in the ocean. That is a success story. And imagine if 10% of restaurants are using it, like really engaging with it, and in not just in SF, but maybe in the whole country, the positive impact that would happen, it would have on the environment. Boom, that's awesome news. Let's get right to the next one. By the way, thank you, Christy Dunford, for this article here. She posted that. This is JJ Green Paper's innovative new paper solution aims to combat paper packaging waste. So speaking of plastic liners in your paper containers, this company apparently invented a way of producing paper and the pulp. They have a proprietary IP on how to make it with a lining that is apparently biodegradable. Well, that's awesome if it's true. If you look at their website, they just do not tell you any details on what it is, probably to protect their information, but they're actually they're rolling it out, and they're partnering with production. I mean, it might be big, so you can go check it out yourself if anyone wants to invest in something like that. But I will say, I would prefer to live in a world where people use refillable, reusable containers, like what Dispatch Goods is doing, what Loop is doing, because I think that's a better solution, and it's healthier, and we're not going to be chopping down trees just so you can have your coffee. That's just sad state of affairs in the world that we're living in, where we're doing that. So let's move on, because we gotta make this quick. I gotta make this quick because I'm trying to make this quick, because this is one time, one take, unedited, unscripted, live, and this one is about another Bay Area story. This grocery delivery service doesn't deliver you any plastic, and it's about Zero Grocery right here in the Bay Area, startup. And Zuleika Strassner, the owner, she rocked out this year and now has a pretty fully loaded grocery store online that you can order from, and all in glass containers. And I'm skipping right down to this awesome part, which I find quite really awesome. Talks about, just read it right here. When each package is returned, it is cleaned and sterilized before repacking. Strassner says that customers haven't been squeamish about reusable packaging during the pandemic. And she quoted here, When you think of a typical brick and mortar grocery store, the products in the brick and mortar grocery store are being handled and touched by many more people, from production to distributors to grocery store workers to floor to customers, she says. Our product, like any other product being manufactured in the US, is being manufactured or packed in a controlled environment. Big ups to Zuleika and Zero Grocery, and you can order from them. You can check them out. It's a pretty awesome service, and I highly recommend that you do, instead of going and getting a bunch of like junk food from Whole Foods. And speaking of Whole Foods, this leads up. Oh, it's not. Yeah, that's the last one. And this one, why I put this one in here? Yeah, okay, fine. You know, this is about a new site will turn plastic waste into hydrogen. Awesome. Yeah, sounds good, and it is good, and I hope it does happen. And this is about a company in the UK, Powerhouse Energy and PLP Environmental, who are collaborating to develop 11 plastic hydrogen facilities across the UK. Okay, great. It's creating a market for hydrogen. It's creating a demand for more plastic waste. There is a lot of plastic waste churned from right now, but eventually, if it becomes very competitive, we're just gonna need more plastic waste. I want refillables to just take over. I want us to become a refillable, reusable, sustainable society. That's what we need. And that leads us to the next and final one of the week. And there's so many, by the way, I just had to pick this. This is how much plastic from Amazon deliveries ends up in the ocean. Boom, boom, boom. So you can read this yourself. That's a shocking picture, by the way. I picked it because I actually spent 2 weeks working for Amazon this year during COVID, because I was curious to learn how they were running their systems. I had read the book The Everything Store, and it's about Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and fascinating. It tells a story in the beginning. When Jeff Bezos was in high school, he wrote his senior thesis paper was, check this out. This cat wanted to build a floating colony above the earth in space where all humans would live on, and the earth would become a forest preserve. What happened to that guy? And by the way, does that sound familiar? Have you guys seen the movie Elysium? Creepy. I mean, it's like almost like the producers of Elysium, like they read his paper and they just made a movie about it. And in fact, the movie is probably more accurate, because in the movie, if you know it, with Matt Damon, it's like the world is taken over by AI, and all the poor brown people live on Earth in LA, and all of the rich people live on the space colony, and they have access to all the resources and all the technology. Anyway, kind of crazy, kind of creepy. But while I was working at Amazon, not only was I shocked at all of the waste that I saw, but one of the things that angered me was that on top of that, they use these liners, these cold packs, so you could like put the milk and all the cold stuff, so you can deliver it cold to their house, and you would see these giant things coming in, and these giant pallets, a weekly delivery of these things, and you had to use them. And that's just so people can have their milk or their ice cream delivered cold. And I get it. The cult of convenience. People want convenience, and that's what Amazon's about. They're about customer service and convenience. But that is what's gotten to us to this problem in the first place. It's almost like plastic represents. Plastic is like materialized capitalism, and it's tied to convenience, consumerism, convenience, and demand, all of that. And that's the mindset that almost has to stop. Not everything has to be convenient to the point where it's destructive, and that's the point that we've gotten to. It's completely off balance, and I hope that Jeff Bezos, I hope that little high school kid inside Jeff Bezos just comes out of his heart and decides that he wants to do something about it, because that company really truly has the resources to make a big difference on this planet, and right now I can't say that they are. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. You can sign up to any of my feeds. There's my one of my feeds right here below. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll see you next week, or see you next time. Peace. I'm out.